Remember now, the reason I got into this business was to show people that who cannot read, grown-ups especially, that when you learn to read, you can do anything you want to. I am so blessed now that I'm reading. I get a chance to write books, host TV shows, share my love for the culinary and travel right here on the Television Food Network with you. So if you or someone you know has a reading problem, don't be afraid. Call a reading group and learn to read because it's so much fun. All right, let's recap these recipes today. We did a wonderful Caesar, okay? Then we did our nice... Hey friends, it's me, Curtis. Welcome to the show. I think I got a good one for you today. Doing a major flashback. One of my episodes when I hosted Chef du Jour, Chef of the Day. And it's kind of cool. We're going to do a lot with salads, some greens and things. So some of my tips on buying fresh foods. Remember, there are 5 keys, I call them. Look at it, make sure the produce looks good. Use those eyes. Smell it, make sure it smells good. When fruits are ripe, they smell ripe. When vegetables are past their peak, they let you know. Buy what's in season. Also feel it, because certain produce items have certain feels when they're ripe or unripe. And the last thing is get to know your produce person. Those tips work with all fresh foods, meats, whatever, seafood, whatever it is. Use those 5 senses. We start with the Chef du Jour, then a flashback to my days, one of the shows I did with KGO, Channel 7 right here in the Boogity Bay area with the wonderful one and only Cheryl Jennings. Miss working with Cheryl. Also miss working on local television, Bay Area TV. Although, you know, I get my feel here with NC TV and PCA up in Petaluma. Sorry to see that we lost our local show, local Novato show, but however, we have it all around the county in CMCM. And I want to encourage you to get to know the folks at CMCM, also in Petaluma, the folks at PCA, Petaluma Community Television. If you got messages you want to get out, great place to do it. All right, y'all, we're going to boogie on down and enjoy today's show. You know, if you have suggestions or want to see something new, whether it's the old shows I did with Food Network or some of my local appearances around the world. I've got shows from France, also down from Australia, so maybe I'll get those on. All right, y'all, peace, spread love, enjoy the show, and I will see you next week. Peace, spread love.
Hello and welcome to Chef du Jour. Taking the reins today is Curtis Aikens, a self-styled, independent kind of guy that brings down-home Southern cooking into the 90s. Curtis, the Television Food Network host of Food in a Flash and From My Garden, will cook today from his new book, Curtis Cooks with Heart and Soul. And here's Curtis.
Good day, mate. This is so much fun. I love listening to Betty B talk about me. It just makes me kind of like thrilled to hear her say those things. Yes, I did learn to cook in Mama's Kitchen down in Conyers, Georgia, about 20 miles east of Atlanta. If you're down that way, stop by and say, hey, okay? Anyway, what I've been doing here during Betty's voiceover, as well as my little chit-chat with you, is mashing some eggs, and we'll use those in a second. This is a show about salads today, and yes, we are cooking from Curtis Cooks with Heart and Soul. It's my heart, it's my soul. I put a lot of love in this book, at least I try to, and I hope it comes out in your table. Let's talk about some of my favorite salad greens. When I say favorite, that's a word that, wow, I love just about everything in the produce section. So produce is my favorite, I reckon. Here I have a big mixture, a montage of produce. Let's start right in the front here with this little yellow looking thing. This is the Belgian endive. This is just gorgeous. It's one of those lettuces, it's a member of the lettuce family, member of the endive family actually, that is, I feel like, much better cooked than raw. It has a little bitter taste to it when you serve raw, although a lot of people like that. I think it's when raw, it's great in kind of an Italian salad mixture, or if you're looking for a spicy salad, the Belgian endive is great for that. It's also wonderful to stuff. Lauren, don't shoot me. You guys hear me talk about Lauren all the time. She's my sous chef that's worked with me on From My Garden. She works with the Chef du Jour. I want to take this out, so I don't want her to yell at me for breaking up her beautiful arrangement. But here, it's just a natural cavity there that's great to stuff. You can take take 2 leaves, and if you want to make like a stuffed endive, you can wrap wrap like that or whatever and roll them up like you would cabbage leaf. It is wonderful, I think, cooked. I like to mix maybe some rice and nuts together and make a little stuffed leaf with that one. Let's talk about other lettuce. I could talk about this all day, so someone has to move me along to get me cooking. But here is another lettuce that personally I like cooked. This is radicchio. Radicchio. It's an Italian lettuce that's just fabulous. I remember when I worked at Balducci's, the first time I really started to work with the radicchio and had a chance to go to Italy and see this growing in the fields. In Italy, the radicchio is used very much like we use the iceberg lettuce here. It's as common in Italy as the iceberg is here. Great, great lettuce in salads or cooked again. This is one of, this one here, this is the iceberg lettuce. This is kind of the, what we Americans think of as lettuce. When you say lettuce, we think of the iceberg lettuce. People complain that it's low on nutrition, but high on flavor, and or a bit watery with the taste. Some people complain. I love iceberg. I grew up in Conyers, and this was a lettuce that was prevalent. This was popular in the South in those days. This was the 60s, early 70s, until I got to be a big boy and moved out west and saw all these other fabulous lettuces. But down the South, this was one that was popular. Now, what my mom would do with her salads is she'd like chop up 2 or 3 heads of iceberg. We had a big family. And then she'd add everything but the kitchen sink. She'd add radishes and peppers and all kinds of things. And I remember picking all that stuff out and just eating the iceberg with some Thousand Island dressing. Let me show you the romaine here. We're going to use the romaine in our Caesar salad that's coming up. Fabulous, fabulous lettuce. Remember, the greener the lettuce, the more vitamin C and iron and those things in it. Just fabulous, fabulous lettuce. The red leaf lettuce is a great, great lettuce. It's kind of moved to the front of my lettuce list over the past 6 or 7 years because it has a delicate, sweet flavor. Beautiful, beautiful lettuce. Now, let me show you some things when buying lettuces. And look for nice, firm bottoms. If the bottoms are mushy on the lettuce, that means the lettuce is old, has been stored improperly. Some other things that are in the lettuce family, we'll talk about them as we go on the show. This is like a little bit of let me taste this. Little watercress there, just fabulous. I had to have a reason to eat some butter lettuce, and I've also got some frisée, which is very popular in France. Let's start this Caesar out by making some croutons.
Emoji C here, long time no see. Before we do that Caesar salad, how about a way flashback to one of my appearances on KGO, ABC 7 here with the wonderful one and only Cheryl Jennings. A special Thanksgiving dinner. Spread love.
Coming up tonight at 5 o'clock, we'll have the latest numbers for you in the presidential race as the hand counting continues today in Broward County. Now that the Florida Supreme Court has refused to intervene, Al Gore's hopes may hinge on this one county. Plus, she got $100,000 from Oprah. Tonight, see how this Bay Area woman is using that money to provide a Thanksgiving meal for the needy. And find out the cheapest and safest way to send holiday gifts. 7 on your side's Michael Finney has the wrap on that one for you tonight at 5 o'clock. Now, we have a special treat for you. A friend of ours who is joining us here to celebrate a different kind of holiday meal, a vegetarian feast. You've probably seen him on Good Morning America and the Food Network. He works tirelessly for charitable causes. He is Curtis Aikens over at our food desk with Cheryl.
Cameron, thank you. We are so excited. I know Cameron's going to be running over here in just a minute. I know. It's so
I gotta
good
get my
to
hug
see
first.
you
Ooh, it's
again.
good to see you. Good to be
know.
back on Bay Area television.
You were
Wow.
munching on this food in the
I
commercial,
can't
so
help
I
it.
had to
Cheryl,
slap your
she
hand.
spanked my hand. Now,
That's
let me show you
right.
something. I told the guys I was going to start with the stuffing, but I had to talk about starting with something being eaten.
Goes to dessert first.
The
Come on.
kid, right? The kids, we were cooking this stuff last night, and they didn't want the sweet potato pie to get here. But we'll talk about that in a minute, huh?
Okay, but the centerpiece of
The centerpiece, right.
meatless holiday meal.
Totally meat-free holiday meal. The folks have been watching this on Channel 7 for how many years now? Too many years for me to say.
Long time.
You know, we're still young, though, right? I don't eat flesh, but I'm not anti-meat. Now, this is the thing that I take if the meal's at my house, I'll do something like a stuffed pumpkin. But this is the kabocha squash, which is an Asian squash. And we've stuffed that. Can you see that at home?
Look at this.
We've stuffed that with a
Absolutely gorgeous.
cornbread stuffing, Mama's cornbread stuffing. Totally meat-free. Now, there are 2 eggs in this stuffing, so if you want to do a vegan meal, just leave the eggs out. It will still bind well. And that tastes good. We pre-cooked this a bit to get that pumpkin cooked inside. So when you're serving this up, reach inside, pull some of that
and
pumpkin
you take
flesh
some of
out.
the- oh, that's
yeah.
delicious,
And we'll
yeah.
put a little of that bit on the plate there.
Okay.
We'll go one item at a time. There's
Okay.
our stuffing. Now, next to it is our meat-free gravy. There's a lot of recipes for meat-free gravy, and of course you can get them in. You like that,
I
huh?
like it. Well, if you can't be home, I'm going to eat here
There
at
you
work,
go.
right?
We're going to do that for you. Now, what I like to do is I'll take beans, whether it's a dark bean or a white bean. You can cook your beans, they're really soft, and puree them up. Add a little bit of thickener. You can make a roux with flour, or you can use some cornstarch to thicken that up and add a little flavor to it with whether it's like a beef, I'm sorry, beef,
No beef.
a vegetable bouillon or vegetable broth to thicken that up. Now, we got to show, because my youngest son, Cole, who's up at Clear Lake today, loves deviled eggs, as he called them.
Doubled eggs.
Deviled eggs,
That's
right?
cute.
But they're really deviled eggs, son. So we've got the deviled eggs for him. Now, as far as the other parts of the meal, just like being at home, we got a
Might as
couple
well
of
serve
deviled
this up
eggs
here.
for you. Right,
Alrighty.
there we go.
Okay.
Now, right here, we went to Mama's house to get some collard greens. Now, Lee Glasses, our meteorologist, loves, she's a Southern girl. There we go, those collard greens right there.
it smells so
now,
good.
We'll do the black-eyed peas on New Year's Day, not
Okay,
on
we'll
Thanksgiving,
save 'em.
okay? But for Thanksgiving, we've got green beans. Now, this again, the meal is loaded with flavor, also high in fiber, so it's a healthy meal. Now we've got the green beans. Now, the boys they got the green beans ready last night, and they said, it's like being at Sweet Mama's house.
Oh, yeah.
They call Grandma Sweet Mama. So we've got some green beans. What do you think, Cheryl?
I think it looks delicious. You
So
know, we're
far
just
looking good.
We're just about out of time, Curtis. I wanna-
Okay, let's run through it real quickly.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes, a comfort food at its best. We've got corn, sweet corn for you, and you got to have a Southern meal with sliced onions and tomatoes. We're going to top it off with a sweet potato pie. Now, I had to bring along that canned cranberry sauce because at every holiday meal in the South, no matter what Mama's cooking, they have that canned cranberry sauce for you. Now, for the folks at home that want to make cranberry sauce, it's real easy to do. Just grab a package of cranberries, cup of water, cup of sugar, stew it up till the cranberries melt in well.
All
You
right.
got that fresh cranberry sauce.
And
What
we're
do you
going to
think?
put your recipes
Okay.
on the website on Monday after everybody gets back from the holiday. Curtis, thank you so much.
My
Happy
pleasure, Cheryl.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We love you, Bay Area.
See you later, Cameron.
What I've got here is a loaf of good old country bread. If you've got some day-old bread or some loaf bread, you can go ahead and toast it if you want, or just chop it up into pieces like we've got here. And what I've done is melt some butter in this pan. We don't want it smoking. Now remember this trick too. If you want to raise the smoking point of butter or margarine, just add butter, that is. Add a little bit of oil to it. That'll raise the smoking point. The butter can get hotter before it burns or before it begins to smoke. That's what adding a bit of, whoa, don't get away from it, Mr. Pan. Now what I'm going to do here is add my bread crumbs. I just want to turn that over in that hot butter. Just turn it over, turn it over, turn it over. This is making nice homemade croutons here. Just kind of toasting it. And I'm also going to add some fresh herbs. I've got some rosemary, thyme, some sage, whichever herbs you like. I'm going to just sprinkle those right in there. And I also have a bit of garlic salt in that butter to give it a little flavor. Oh, I just love the smell of sage. Just beautiful, beautiful. This is great with poultry. If you're if you eat turkey or chicken, this is a great seasoning, great herb for poultry, and some rosemary. Now, what I want you to do is turn that over, and let the bread absorb that butter, and you've got nice homemade croutons. Let us make our Caesar dressing. And what I've done is I mashed up the eggs here. And of course, you will get all these ingredients and instructions to make it when you buy my book, Curtis Cooks with Heart and Soul. To my eggs, I'm going to add a bit of, add some Parmesan cheese right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a bit of garlic. Here we go. Let me grab this little spoon here. Add a little bit of garlic there. Just mix that up with my wooden spoon. I'm going to add some Worcestershire. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Just a bit there. A little more. I like that stuff. Okay? Now, some oil. Extra virgin olive oil I'm going to use here. Okay? About 6 tablespoons. Well, it's according to how many eggs you use, really. Okay? Or how much dressing you want to make. Now, I've got a bit of lemon juice. Now, notice, I left the anchovies out. They don't go in my recipe, okay? But if you want them, you can add them too. And if you want this a little thinner, just go ahead and whisk up or break it up as you like. I'm gonna add a little more oil to it also, give it a little, there we go. There we go. Now, we're gonna take and toss this over our salad along with our croutons, those homemade croutons. I have some already done here. Just sprinkle those in. And then we're going to add our dressing. Toss, 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 and we are ready to serve. Ready to serve, okay? I'm going to toss this as we get ready to go for a break. And don't you go away. I've got more salads on today's show. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you get up close to the television there and be ready for a hug, all kind of things right here on Chef Du Jour with me, Curtis Aikens. Ooh, I think I want to eat this now. Welcome back to Chef Du Jour. I'm just rubbing my hands because I want to have some fun in the kitchen. We're going to do a recipe, a salad with asparagus and vegetables that I think you're going to love. My kid Curtis Jr. just loves this thing. We're going to start talking about the elements of the salad. I've got some eggplant here, just beautiful, beautiful. The globe, the purple eggplant. Remember, there are literally dozens of varieties of eggplant. If you can remember one of the shows from my garden where we actually showed you, I think, 52 varieties. Am I right, Pat? Pat O'Gorman, my producer of today, and also from my garden. It's a pleasure working with her again, by the way. That's a little personal tip. I know she's going to say, Curtis, you can't say those kind of things, but I love you, lady, so I'm going to say them. Anyway, the eggplant is gorgeous. Remember, there are two types. There's a male and a female eggplant. We were talking about that in the break, and finding out which is the tough part. So you have to do that on your own. Just kidding. Asparagus, fresh asparagus. There's nothing like fresh asparagus. I'm going to pick some of this up and talk to you about buying and storing fresh asparagus. I want to have it close to my heart. My kids love asparagus. Curtis, I remember for his first birthday, we celebrated with a pound of asparagus. When buying asparagus, the key thing I want you to look for are the tops here, the tip of the asparagus. The crown should be nice and closed like that one. That's a beautiful asparagus. If they're open or a bit soft, you want to stay away from them. When I say soft, you can tell this, it gets a little slime to them, and you definitely want to stay away from those. The stem should be nice and firm. Look at that. That's a great, great stem of the asparagus. Store asparagus, I want you to store them in paper bags. Use them within 2 days, okay? They start to lose their nutrient, and they're just not as good after about 3 or 4 days. They really get bad. Fresh ginger. I've got some fresh ginger. Let me just kind of move this over to show you guys this fresh ginger. This is a beautiful, beautiful ginger here. Isn't that gorgeous? Some of the best gingers grown in Hawaii and also in the Philippines. So look for ginger from those areas. It stores very well. Once you cut a piece off, you can go ahead and place it in the fridge. That little part that's exposed will dry out, but the rest of the ginger will stay nice and fresh, stay nice and moist, I should say. Great little ginger, and try it in different recipes. It adds something. Something, right? Well, let's get to cooking here. Enough chit-chat about the elements here. I've got a pan, of course, it's nice and hot, and we're going to add a little bit of oil here to the pan, okay? And I'm going to add two items simultaneously. My garlic, I've got some fresh garlic, and the ginger. They're going to go at the same time, okay? Now we're going to stir those in, add that to get that nice Asian flair to this recipe. Whoa, Curtis, that's a little hot. Okay, I'm going to pull that back a bit. I'm chit-chatting too much there. I'm going to add my peppers to this as well. Okay. Ooh. Okay, red and green peppers. Then I'm going to add my tofu. Oh, yeah. A little tofu there. And just turn this over, Notice I'm controlling the heat by just moving the pan from the burner there, okay, as opposed to turning it down. Next, I want to add my eggplant. I've got the eggplant cubed, and what I want to do, and I want you to do this also at home, go ahead and add a little bit of salt, just a tad, okay? Now, we're going to place a lid on this dish and let it simmer until the eggplant has softened. And here I have one that's softened up for us. Let's move over here and work with this one. I'm going to turn this burner off. Now, we're at this point at home. This is going to take you about 8 to 10 minutes to get to this point. Notice how the eggplant has colored up a bit, and it's absorbed all those wonderful flavors. So what we're going to do here is add a bit of vegetable stock, and you've heard me talk about this so many times on different shows. And vegetable stock. I love using vegetable stock as opposed to the meat stocks because it allows the flavors of the other elements to come out more. Even if you're making chicken soup. What's chicken soup, Curtis? Chicken soup. okay? If you're making chicken soup, if you've got a sick loved one or something, use the vegetable stock. It really lets the flavor of the chicken come out, okay? Try that out. Let me know what you think. And I'm also going to add a little bit of Chardonnay. You can use any white wine. Oh, this is a nice one. It's a barrel select from a particular vineyard that I like. We're going to add some Chardonnay. In fact, I have a couple of these bottles at home, and I don't want to advertise, so you'll have to write in on the web and say, Curtis, what was that wine you had? And I'll tell you. Anyway, we want to let this reduce, okay? Now, this is TV. You guys know that, right? Because you're watching. So I'm going to fast forward. I've got another pan here that is ready for the next portion. I'm going to transfer the lid because we don't throw this away. The crew is salivating to eat. Now, we're going to let this reduce down, and I'm going to add to it some asparagus tips, okay, and that I've already steamed. So all I really want to do here is heat them, and they will heat after you toss it. I'm going to add a bit of parsley, just a bit here, and then I'm going to garnish it more when I plate the vegetable. This recipe, this is kind of what my cooking is evolving to. Has a bit of the Asian flair to it, as well as the California style with the vegetables and the down-home flavor you get by allowing things to cook up. So it's kind of like, woo, South meets West meets Far East, huh? Woo, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's plate this up, and then we're going to take a break. But you're not going to leave me, right? You're just going to hang out, watch the commercials. You're going to come back. You're going to hug me. You're going to tell me how much you love the show, Chef du Jour. And it's a great little salad. Now, all those juices make for your dressing. So come on back here. Hello, welcome back. I love that classical sound coming in for Chef du Jour. Oh, I am the chef today. Chef today, Curtis Aikens. Let's give a hug here. You remember that. On all my shows, I give a hug. Ooh, come up a bit close. Get on in here, y'all. I love that hug. Remember, 8 hugs a day. Your kids need them, you need them, your spouse needs them, and of course, I need them. So do that. We're going to make a parsnip salad here. A lot of people you don't think of parsnip in salad, but this works, y'all. I'm telling you. I've grated some up here, and I've grated it to kind of break it up. Sometimes you bite into it, the parsnip, people go, "Ooh, this doesn't work." But when you grate it up, it seems to bring the sweetness out of the parsnip there. I love them. So try this out. When buying parsnip look very much like a carrot. In fact, a lot of people call them the white carrot. What you want is a nice firm vegetable. I like them 2.5, 3 inches in diameter most. You don't want them much bigger than that. About 6 to 8 inches long will be great as well. They're wonderful in soup stocks, and a lot of the recipes you'll see for my soup stocks, I use a parsnip. I've also grated up some celery, or diced some celery, I should say, and some onions. And I also have some green olives. You can use the black olives if you like. I'm going to just go ahead and toss those in. And remember now, when making salads, I always talk about the fact that I like to really incorporate the vegetables. So I'm going to grab a couple of spoons here, and we really want to toss things and mix everything up very well, okay? So just toss it up. I like doing this when making salads in between each ingredient. I want to mix very well because I want everything incorporated, okay? So get all those olives out, all righty, and mix them up well. Next, we're going to add the celery. Ooh, sounds like a nice little country salad, huh? Yeah. There we go. Mix that up. Now, in that last recipe, I'm going to just go back for a second, and I talked to you about that Asian influence that seems to be coming into my cooking. I seem to be meeting a lot of wonderful people, the group Hiroshima. I've got friends in Chicago and living in San Francisco. But I wanted to kind of talk about the fact that when you talk about Asian influence, there are a lot of different cultures involved there. There's Chinese Americans, Japanese Americans, that whole culture. So it's a lot of influence there. And I'm very pleased that it's starting to come into my cooking. And parsnip is a vegetable that has really, I've grown to love from dining in Chinatown in San Francisco and Japantown and having a great time with it, as well as my ventures down in Los Angeles. Now we're going to add some onion here as well, just kind of some chopped onion right in there. Okay, And again, mix it up well. You got to get in the mix, Now, what I want to do here is just let this sit a second and talk to you about the dressing that I've made for this. We're using a vinaigrette here, kind of like the classic French dressing. It's a simple vinaigrette. We've got some oil, some vinegar, some onions diced in there, and as well as some a bit of garlic. To that, I want to add some tarragon. I've got some fresh chopped tarragon. I want to add to that here. I'm going to add some now, and then we're going to talk about the tarragon before we complete our salad here. Go ahead to your vinegar, to your oil, add your tarragon, place a lid back on. These little containers that you see me working with are so handy. You can find those find them in kitchen stores all across the country. The great thing about them is they allow you to store your dressings. Now shake it up well. Go ahead and make this a day ahead of time, or two, or just make something and keep it in there, and you have this. The longer the tarragon stays in the oil and vinegar, the more flavor seeps out. This is the tarragon. This, again, a classic French herb. It is just wonderful, wonderful herb. Has kind of a licoricey smell and flavor to it. When buying tarragon, always look for nice green herbs. No wilting, no yellowing in the herb, okay? Go ahead and chop those up when you want to use them for your in your dishes. Now, we're going to go ahead and complete our salad here. To my parsnip, I'm going to add some vinaigrette. Whew, this is smelling and it's wonderful. You're going to love this one. Now, I've got a little salad mixture over here. It's a mesclun mixture. It's a mixture of different greens, different salads, and just beautiful. You can find this in stores all across the country. Let's go ahead and plate some of this up. Here we go. And this is our last little recipe. God, I'm having so much fun doing Chef du Jour. Can't wait to get back tomorrow in the kitchen. Remember now, the address is going to be coming up. And don't forget to place the show number on there, as well as that self-addressed stamped envelope. And also remember that the Television Food Network nowadays is online, so you can chit-chat about all the things that we've prepared today on Chef du Jour. And I hope you try these recipes. They're a lot of fun. Remember now, the reason I got into this business was to show people who cannot read, grown-ups especially, that when you learn to read, you can do anything you want to. I am so blessed now that I'm reading. I get a chance to write books, host TV shows, share my love for the culinary and travel right here on the Television Food Network with you. So if you or someone you know has a reading problem, don't be afraid. Call a reading group and learn to read, because it's so much fun. All right, let's recap these recipes today. We did a wonderful Caesar. Okay, then we did our nice little asparagus salad. This is the one I talked to you about, that Asian influence with the tofu, or dofu in Japanese. We've got the eggplant. Remember, there's some wonderful Japanese and Chinese eggplant that are available, as well as the Italian, or and the last recipe we did was that parsnip salad. Remember, God loves you. I love you. Peace out.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. It's interesting. I started off where I ended it, with just me reaffirming. And I was so proud to do that work back in the day. Of why I got into television was to promote literacy. And if you or someone you know needs help with reading, I really try to share from my heart. Please try not to be ashamed or embarrassed, because that's what kept me from getting help for so many years. Reach out to me. I'll help you find a program that will get you reading. Peace, spread love.